Hey everyone, how you doing? I hope you're great. So in this short series, I want to show you how to create a main menu with graphic settings. So if we click here in settings, as you can see, we have graphic settings for full screen mode, screen resolution, limit frame rate, VSync, and quality settings for anti-aliasing, shading, global illumination, reflection, texture, shadow, post-processing, and visual effects. And of course, we can click on Start Game as well. And now we are in the game, and here we can open the menu as well. So we can press Ask here, and we can go to settings and we have the same settings here. And just to show you that this works, so here as you can see we have shadows, right? So if I open this and go to settings, and if we go to shadow here and I change this to low and apply the settings, as you can see, now we don't have any shadows. So all the graphic settings work here. So let me just go back to high here. Let me apply and let's go back. So this is basically what I'm going to show you in this short series. But before, if you do like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on so you receive all the notifications when I post a new video, right? And let me know in the comments if you want tutorial on something, right? So without further ado, let's go. First, let's make the main menu widget. So for that, let's go to the folders, content, and here let's create a new folder for widgets. Let's open this, and here I will create a new folder for main menu. And inside this folder, let's create a widget. So just right click and go to user interface, widget blueprint. Here select the user widget, and I will name this WB main menu. Now let's open this and let's make the widget. Let's start by adding a canvas panel. So here in palette, just search for canvas and drag the canvas panel to the widget like this. And now let's add a border. So just search here for border. Let's add this border to the canvas panel, and I will use this border as a background, right? So select the border, and here in anchors, select this option here. Click on this holding Ctrl and Shift. Just click on this, and this will expand this border to fill the canvas panel like this. Now let's add an image to this border. So just select the border, and here in brush, expand this, and you will have the option to import an image. So I already imported an image here. So let me search here for background. I have this image here to use as the menu background. This is just a simple image just to illustrate how to make the main menu, right? So now let's create the space for the buttons. Okay, so let's first drag an overlay to the border. So here in palette, search for overlay and drag this in the border like so. And select the overlay and put 0 on the padding here, right? If it is not already. So now let's add another border to serve as the background for the buttons. So just drag the border here. And now we just need to position this where we want. So for me, I will put on the middle here in the vertical alignment, and let's expand this padding here so we can put maybe 50 on the left. So it is right here, as you can see. Now let's add a vertical box to this border. So here in palette, again, search for vertical box, this one here. Let's drag in the border, select the vertical box and put 0 on the padding here. There you go. Now we can put the buttons. So here in palette, search for button. Let's drag one here in the vertical box, and inside this button we need to put a text. So here again, search for text and drag inside the button like so. And now we have a button here. Let's change the name for this button. So I will name this start game BTN for button, right? And here in the text, let's change some things as well. So here in the text, I will put start game like this. The size for the font, let's put here 42, like so. And let's change the name of this text here. So start game text. And there you go. Let's compile and save. And now we can add more buttons to this vertical box. So just select the button and press Ctrl D to duplicate. Let's duplicate twice here. So we have 3 buttons. This second one, I will name this settings button. So settings BTN. And the third one here, let's name this quit BTN. There you go. Let's change the texts as well. So here, let's put settings. The other one, let's put quit here. And let's change the name for this text object as well. So this one here will be the settings text, and this one the quit text. There you go. Now let's add some padding to the buttons. So here, click on the start game and expand the padding option. I will put here 20 on the top and 20 on bottom. So let's do the same for the settings button, 20 on top and 20 on bottom, and the same thing for the quit button. So 20 here and 20 here, right? And for this vertical box, I will put 30 on all here. So just put 30 on this padding, right? And there you go. So now let's change the color for the button's background. So just select this second border here, and here in brush color, change to the color that you want. So for me, I will leave as white, but I will put 0.5 on the alpha. And that's basically it. And as a final touch, let's add the title for the game. So let's drag a text in overlay here, right? Let's select this text. I will name this title. And here in text, I will put something like graphics settings tutorial, something like this, just as an example, right? So here in the size, I will put 64. There you go. And let's put on the middle. So here in horizontal alignment, let's put on middle, and let's add some padding to the top here. So I will put maybe 30. And there you go. Now we have the menu. Now let's create a level to add this menu to the game, right? So let's go back to Unreal. Let me put right here. Let's go back to the folders. Here, let's go to maps. So third person maps, and here I will create another level. So just right click and go to level. I will name this level main menu. Let's open this. And first we need to create a game mode for this main menu. So let's go back here to third person blueprints. Here I will create another game mode. So just right click and go to class, blueprint class. And here select game mode base. I will name this GM for game mode, then main menu. And don't forget, we need to add this to the level. So with the level open, just click on Word Settings, and here in Game Mode Override, select the Game Mode main menu. This one here, right? Let's save. And now we need to open this Game Mode main menu so we can add the widget, right? So let's do this. So here in Begin Play, let's create the widget. So first, let me delete this event tick here. So here, just right click and type Create Widget, this one here. Let's connect. And for the class, let's select the main menu, this one here. Let's get the player controller, so right click and type get player controller, and let's connect here in the owning player. And now here from this return value, let's type add to viewport, this one here. Let's compile and save, and let's hit play to see if it is working. So as you can see, we have the main menu, but if we click here, as you can see, we don't have the mouse. So let's fix that. Let's go back to the game mode main menu. So after this, from the game player controller here, let's drag and let's type set input mode. Let's select UI only here. Let's connect the execution pin. And the widget to focus is this one here. So let's drag from the return value and connect here. Let me add a reroute, like so. And again, from the player controller, let's drag and type set show mouse cursor. Let's set this to true because we need the cursor, right? Let's connect here, and I will add another reroute right here. And there we go. Let's compile and save, and let's test now. So as you can see, now we have the mouse and we can click on the buttons. So now let's add some functionality to the buttons. So let's start with the quit button. So just select the quit button here and scroll down until you see the events here, right? So here we have the on-clicked event. Just click on the plus, and this will take us to the graph. So here we can add some functionality to this button when we click, right? So to quit the game is really simple. Just right click and type quit, and you will have this node here, quit game, under the game category. So just select this and connect in the event like so. So let me just select everything here and press C to add a comment. So let's comment here, quit game, and there you go. This is basically it for this button. Let's do the same for the start game. So let me just delete these events here first. So let's go back to the designer and let's select the start game button. Let's scroll down and click on the plus on the on-clicked event here. And this will be really simple. I will just load the new map, right? The third person map. So here, right click and type open level by name, this one here. Let's connect here, and here in the level name you need to put the exactly name of the level that you want to open. So I will go back to the maps here. Let's open the folders and let's go to maps, and I will copy this name. So just copy the name of the level that you want, go back to the event here and put the name here in the level name, and there you go. Let's select everything here and I will comment start game like so. Let's test to see if this is working. So let's go back to the level and let's hit play. So if I click on start game, as you can see, we open the level, but we can't move the character. So let's go back here in the main menu, right? So after opening the new level, we need to focus on the game again. So here, just right click and type get player controller, this one here. And from this, let's type set input mode to game only. Let's connect here, and we need to hide the cursor as well. So from the player controller, drag and type set show mouse cursor, this one here. Let's connect here and just leave this as false. Let's compile and save, and now let's test again. So let's hit play, let's click on start game, and there you go. Now we are on the game. So let's hit play again and let's click on quit, and as you can see, we exit from the game, right? So everything is working. Now we just need to do the settings button. But to do the event for the settings button, first we need to create the settings menu. We need to create the widget, right? So let's go back to the folders, and here I will rename the name of this main menu folder here. I will name just menu, because this will have the settings as well. It's not only the main menu, right? So here, just right click and go to user interface, widget blueprint, user widget, and I will name this WB graphics graphic settings like this. Let's open and let's make the widget. So let's start by adding a canvas panel. So here in palette, search for canvas and add in the widget. And let's add a border for the background of the settings. So let's put here in the canvas panel, and I will put this on the right side here. So just hold Ctrl and Shift and click on the anchor here to put it right here, right? Let me put the X here, maybe -50, so -50 like so. Let's increase the Y value here, the size Y, and the size X. I will put something like this, right? Let me rename this border to background. So let me put background here, and remember that we will have the main menu right here, right? So that's why I'm putting the settings on the right side of the screen. Let's change the color for the background. So select the background, and here in brush color I will leave as white, but I will put 0.3 on the alpha. Now let's add an overlay to the background. So here in the palette, search for overlay and drag in the background like so, and don't forget to set the padding to 0. Now I want to have two buttons on the bottom right corner right here, right? I want to have two buttons, one for back and one for applying settings, right? So to do this, let's first get a horizontal box. So search for horizontal box right here. Let's drag in the overlay. Let's select the horizontal box, and I will align this on horizontal alignment. I will put on the right aligned here, and in the vertical I will put on the bottom aligned here, right? And for the padding I will put 30 on the right, so let's put 30 here and 30 on the bottom like so. So now let's add the buttons to this horizontal box. So here in the palette, let's search for button, and let's add one button to the horizontal box, and let's add a text as well. So search for text and add the text inside the button like so. So this button I will name back btn for button, right? And this text I will rename to back text, like so. And here in the text content, let's change to back, like this. So now let's add another button. Let's actually duplicate this one. So select and press Ctrl D to duplicate. Let's rename this to apply settings btn. This text here, let's change to apply settings text, like so. And of course, the content of this text, let's put apply settings. And now let's change the size of the text here. So I will select the first one. Let's change the size of the font here to maybe 32, like this. And let's do the same for the apply settings text. So 32. And for this apply settings button, let's put some padding on the left side here. Let's put maybe 20, actually 50. And there you go. Now we have the two buttons. Now I want to add some title to this menu as well. So here in the palette, let's search for text and let's add this on the overlay here, right? So I will rename this to title, like so. And for the text content, I will put here graphics settings, like this, right? So for the font size, I will put maybe 42, like this. And let's align this on the middle. Here in horizontal alignment, let's put on middle, and I will put 20 on the top padding, like this. Okay, so now we need to make the container for all the settings right in the middle here, right? So between the graphic settings title and the buttons, here in the middle, we need to put the settings. So for that, let's start with a size box. So here in the palette, search for size box. Let's drag this in the overlay, like this. And let's put this on the middle in the horizontal alignment and middle on the vertical alignment. So as you can see, it's right here in the middle. And inside this size box, let's put a border, right? To serve as the background for the settings. So let's put here the border inside the size box. Now let's go back to the size box. And here, let's enable the mean desired width and mean desired height. So just increase this until you have the size that you want. So for me, I will put something like this. And let's increase the mean desired height as well. So something like this. Now let's enable the max desired width and max desired height, and let's put the same value. So let's copy the mean desired width and let's put on the max desired width. And let's copy the mean desired height and put on the max desired height. And there you go. Now let's just change the color of the border. So select the border here, and in brush color, again, select the color that you want. But for me, I will put white, but I will change the alpha to 0.5, like this. Let's hit OK, compile and save. And now we just need to create the input for all the settings that you want, for all the graphic settings, right? So here we will have a lot of settings, so I need this container to be scrollable. To do this, let's search for a scroll box. So here in the palette, search for a scroll box and just drag this and put inside the border. Let's select this scroll box and let's put 0 on the padding here. Now let's add a vertical box inside the scroll box. So here in palette, search for vertical box. Let me type here vertical box and add this inside the scroll box, right? So now finally we can add a horizontal box for each setting that we have. So here in palette, let's search for horizontal box and let's add this inside the vertical box. And inside this horizontal box, we will put the setting. So the first setting that I will put here is the full screen mode. So let's start by adding a text to identify the setting. So here search for text and drag in the horizontal box. Let's rename this to full screen mode text. And let's change the content right here to full screen mode, like so. I will change the size of the font to 32 as well, right? So now we need to add a combo box to this horizontal box. So a combo box is basically a drop down, right? So here in palette, search for combo box and let's use this one here, combo box is string, right? So just drag this in the horizontal box and now we just need to set some settings for the combo box. Let's rename this combo box to full screen mode box, and make sure to rename all combo box that you use, because later on the code we will need a reference to all the combo box that you use on your design, right? And now let's add some options to this combo box. So to do this, just select the combo box, and here in details you will have the content category. Here we have default options. This is an array of options, so you can add as many options as you want here. So let's click on the plus and let's add one. I will name this option full screen. This is one of the options, right? Let's add another one. This will be the windowed full screen. So let's name here windowed full screen, and another one for windowed. So windowed, there we go. For this option here, for this setting full screen mode, we will have these three options, right? And now we can put a default selected option. So by default, full screen will be selected, right? So let's put full screen here, and if we compile here, as you can see, now we have full screen as an option here in the combo box, actually as the selected option, right, by default. Now let's change the style for the combo box. So just select the combo box, and first let's add 50 on the left here in the padding, right? And now for the style, let's start by changing the color of this text here. To change this color, you can change the foreground color. So here you can put any color that you want, but for me, I will put white here. So 1, 1. There you go. Let's hit OK. Now let's add some padding between the text and the arrow here. So to do this, let me first collapse this default option here. So to do this, you can expand style, combo bottom style, and here you will have the down arrow padding. So I will put here maybe 10, let me see. And to see this changing, you need to compile the class. So just compile there, and as you can see, now we have some space. I will actually put 15 here. So let me put 15. Let's compile to see. And there you go. As you can see, now we have a little bit of space here between the text and the arrow. Now let's change the size of the font here. So let me just collapse this combo bottom style and style here so you can see. So to change this size here, you can expand font, and here you will have the size of this text. So here let's put maybe 20. Let's compile to see this change. And there you go. For me, this is okay. Now let's change the color of this background here. So to do this, expand style, combo bottom style, and here you will have the normal option. So just expand this, and here you have the tint to change. So here I will put 0.3 on the value here. Let's hit OK, and there you go. And now we need to change the style for the content of this combo box, right? But now we can't see this because we can't click. So let's first do the event on the main menu when we click on the settings button to open this panel. So let's do this now. So let's go back to the main menu widget, and let's click on settings button so we can add an event. Scroll down here and click on plus on click it, right? Just click on this, and here we need to create the graphic settings panel. So to do this, just right click and type create widget. Let's select this node here and connect here. For the class, select WB graphic settings. Let's get the player controller. So let's get player controller here for the owning player. And now let's add this on viewport. So from the return value here, just type add to viewport. And now let's test to see if it is working. So let's go back to the level here and hit play to see if this is working. So now if I click on settings, as you can see, we have the settings panel right here. But for now, we can still click on the left side buttons here. So I can still click on settings, and another widget will be created, another graphic settings widget. And I can click on this, click again and again. And as you can see, another widget will be created, and I don't want that. So to fix this, let's go back to the code, right? So let's go back to the WB graphic settings, and let's click on WB graphic settings here, the top one, right? Let's scroll down until we see the visibility, and here let's change this to visible, right? Let's change to visible, compile and save, and let's hit play again. And as you can see now, if I click on settings, we have the settings panel, but we can't click on these buttons anymore. This is because now the whole canvas for the graphic settings is visible. That means that we can click on the canvas. So we can't click on the buttons because the buttons is behind the graphic settings canvas, right? So when you leave this option here, the visibility to no hit, that means that this canvas is not clickable, right? And when we change this to visible, this canvas right here is clickable. So the canvas is above these buttons. That's why we're not clicking this. That's why we can't click on these buttons, right? So now we can see the style for the content here. And as you can see, we need to change that. So let's start by adding some padding between these rows here in the options, right? So to do this, let's go back to the graphic settings panel. Let's select the combo box, and here in style we'll have, if we expand this style here, we will have the menu row padding. So here I will put 10. Let's compile and save. And let's see if this is working. So let's hit play, click on settings, and here, as you can see, now we have some space between the rows here. Now let's change the background color for the options. So let's go back to the widget. So let's open graphic settings widget, and I want to put this color here in the row background as well. So the bottom color. So let's first get this color. Let's expand style, combo bottom style, normal, and here we have the color of the bottom here, the background, right? So let's just copy the hex code for this. Let's copy here. Let's hit OK. Let's collapse all this. And to change the background color for the options, you need to expand item style. And here you will have these two options, even row background brush and odd row background brush. We need to change those two options here. I will put the same color, but of course you can change to whatever color you want. So let's expand the even row background brush. Let's change the tint here. So I will just paste here the hex code. Let's hit OK, and for this to work, we need to change the draw as to image here. So just change to image, and let's do the same for the odd row background brush. Expand this, change the tint color here to the color that you want. I will put the hex code here, and let's change the draw as to image. And there you go. Let's compile and save, and let's see if this is working. So let's go back to the level and hit play. Let's click on settings and here, and as you can see now we have this color for the background. So now let's change the color of the text of the options. So let's go back to the graphic settings widget, and here in the item style we have the text color. So let's change this. You can put whatever color you want, but I will put white here. So let me put 1, 1, and 1. Let's hit OK, compile and save, and let's hit play again. Settings here, and as you can see, now we have this. And of course, this is just an example. You can make this as beautiful as you want, but I just want to show you how to make this work inside Unreal with the code, right? So this is basically all I will do for the drop down here. And now that we have this structure here, the horizontal box with a text identifying the setting and a combo box for the options, now we just need to duplicate this to create the other options, right? So I will do this here, then I'll come back later showing you the settings and the options, right? But first, let's just add some padding here. So for the vertical box here, let's add 20 as padding here. And for the horizontal box, I will add 20 on top and 20 on bottom as well. Now we can duplicate this horizontal box to create the other settings. So I will do this now. Okay, so I added all the settings. So now we have full screen mode, screen resolution, frame rate limit, VSync, and we have quality settings for anti-aliasing, shading, global illumination, reflection, texture, shadow, post-processing, and visual effects, right? So I will end this video here because it's way too long already and there's a lot of information for you to keep track of, right? So I'll end here and do the code for the graphic settings widget in a part 2 that I'll be posting later this week, right? So if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn the bell on to be notified when I post a new video, right? And let me know in the comments if you want a tutorial on something, right? So as always, thank you for watching, keep learning. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!